The 𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 core practice trains you to keep rib cage and pelvis stacked. You're going to use a strap around the lower ribs so you maintain true core, which is based on your breathing, driven by your diaphragm, and has rib cage and pelvis stacked. We'll be doing movements with the arms and legs that tempt you to lose that connection, to disintegrate and disconnect from your core. And the disconnection will look like peeling your back ribs off the floor, shrugging your shoulders towards your ears, lifting your chin, or rocking the pelvis. The movements we'll be doing with arms and legs train those 5 muscles necessary for keeping the rib cage and pelvis stacked. So you'll want the strap, and then I recommend a dumbbell. You'll put the strap around the lower ribs, and you want it tight enough that it's a feedback loop, but not so tight that it restricts your breathing. On the inhale, you want expansion front, back, side to side, so you're breathing with circumference. On the exhale, the front ribs will come in and down, the side ribs will close like the gills of a fish, but the back ribs stay full and spacious. Once you've got the strap set up, begin laying down, and we're gonna go right into the dumbbell work. Block underneath your head so that it's lengthening the back of the skull and encouraging your chin to drop down just enough that you have tone in the back center of your throat. Another signal that you have the head in the right place is your forehead will soften down and your eyes will soften down. And then press your heels into the floor and pull them back just enough to feel tone around the sitting bones, and that's the anchor of your pelvis. And then you're going to take the dumbbell up and hold it in your hands, and note that I have my fingers on the back side of the dumbbell, kind of pointing towards my face, and this is going to allow the dumbbell to rock into my hands as I extend my arms. But before we get to that, inhale through your nose and expand front, back, side to side. The strap will help with that. Exhale, front ribs come in and down. Side ribs close like the gills of a fish, but the back ribs stay full and spacious. Keep going. Inhale. Press the heels down, pull them back. Exhale. And you'll feel the pelvic floor more too. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Adding on. Take an inhale. Exhale, you're going to move the arms towards your ears, and it's a very humble movement. Only go as far as you can keep your back ribs on the floor and your shoulder blades on your rib cage. And remember, we're challenging the core integration. It's not about the arms, it's about the core. And then on your inhale, you're going to come back to center. Do that a few times. Take an inhale here. Exhale, arms go towards the ears. Definitely not below the ears, and note how my wrists change. So the dumbbell kind of rocks into my hands, and then inhale back to center. A few more. Long, strong exhale. And you can hover at the bottom of the exhale, and then inhale back to center. And a few more. One more. Resist the temptation of the front ribs flying up, back ribs peeling off the floor, shoulders crawling to your ears, chin lifting, eyes lifting. Inhale back to center. Now knees up, shins up. Arms are going to stay where they are for now. And with your next exhale, extend the right leg out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, extend the left leg out. And then keep going side to side. I often have my students put a resistance band on their feet for this one. It's a nice addition, another way to stay connected to your core and your midline. And just one more like this. Exhale, extend. Inhale, draw in. Okay, putting it together. With your next exhale, extend the right leg out and arms go by the ears. Inhale back to center. Exhale, extend the left leg out and arms go by the ears. Inhale back to center. Many more. Only go as far as you can maintain the ribs down, that sense of the pelvis being neutral, the top of the sacrum being flat on the floor. And remember, if you've lost that, you've lost the core. And to a certain degree, extending arms and legs is the load, is the challenge, where we're training the core integration and the stack of rib cage and pelvis. One more on each side. Adding on again. With your next exhale, extend both legs out to the degree you can keep low belly, low ribs down. Inhale back to center, it may be very humble. Exhale, extend just the legs again. Inhale back to center, just 3, option to do arms and legs. One more. I'm shaking too. And then back to center. Fantastic. Bring your arms down for now. Put your feet on the floor. You can rest the dumbbell on your pelvis, and you're going to remove the block from underneath your head. We're going to do some bridging next. And the strap is useful, again, to help us assess where we're moving from. And you want to keep rib cage and pelvis stacked, which feels more planky, so that you're using your legs and your glutes to lift the pelvis up, not the flexibility of your low back. We're going to do a little arm work here too. So you're going to stretch the dumbbell up again. This time my fingers are on the sides, and you're going to inhale, bend the elbows, and then exhale, press the arms up. Do that a few more times. Inhale, keep chin down, eyes down. Exhale. 3 more. Press into your heels, keep the hamstrings turned on. Course of the core, so it feels like the pressing is coming from your lower ribs, from your shoulder blades, not your arm bones necessarily, or your shoulder muscles. Okay, and last one. Now keep the arms up, press your heels down, pull the heels back, and with your next exhale, lift the hips up. It's not going to be as high or as fancy as a yoga bridge. And then inhale, roll down like your vertebrae are dominoes, and you want each one to land on its own. And then exhale, lift up again. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, lift. 2 more. I have to stay really focused to keep my feet pressing well and to keep my hamstrings turned on. My core and my hamstrings, when they think they're like done with the movement, they tend to get floppy, to just kind of turn off. All right, and then inhale. Now you're going to lower down and bend the elbows, and then exhale, lift the hips up, press the arms up at the same time. Keep going. Inhale, chin down, eyes down. Exhale. A few more, and it's like everything's emanating from your breathing, from your core, from your diaphragm, which you could think of as like the horizontal midline of the body. One more like this. And then roll down. Now, the dumbbell goes on your pelvis, and you're going to press the dumbbell towards your thighs as you lift up into the bridge, and then when you lower down, it's going to rock back onto the pelvis. Take an inhale here. Fill up the back ribs. Exhale, course at the core, drive the heels down, lift the hips up, and again, you can kind of roll the dumbbell away from you. You'll find the spot on the first one. And then inhale, roll down to the best of your ability. It'll be less smooth. And then exhale, lift again. Keep going, especially with the dumbbell on the pelvis or the thighs. This starts to get that glute bridge quality, but only if you stay out of the flexibility of your lower back. So I'm using the strap here, and I want the strap to feel like it's on the floor when I lower down, because most of us will tend to lift up in that lower rib T12 region. And then I'm keeping the hamstrings engaged all the way down and all the way up. I'm not letting them turn off. One more. Now keep going with that. Or I'm going to slide the dumbbell to the right thigh. I'm going to hold with the right hand on the right side, and the left I'm going to press more away so it doesn't rock into the pubic bone, which is uncomfortable at best. And then I'm gonna lift the left leg up into that 90-degree bent knee core work position. And then with your next exhale, drive the right heel down, lift up. Inhale, lower down. You got 5. You can be on heel only or right foot down. It's a shorter or more forceful exhale, almost like Kapalabhati. Last one, I think. And then over to the other side. The dumbbell goes to the left thigh. You press away with the right hand, right leg up, long, strong exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 3, 4, 5. Dumbbell back to the center. Just 5 more. Long, strong exhale, lift up. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, lift. 3 more. And then dumbbell off to the side, knees into your chest, floss out the hamstrings a bit, and then rock side to side or rock along your spine. And then that is your unshakable core practice. You can call it good or add on with an asana strong practice or a superset. The sumo squat superset would be perfect with this. Thank you for practicing.